guilty mummies and guilty daddies. This video is a video that I've been wanting to film for some time, but haven't really known how to go about it. It's a bit of a sensitive subject, not just for me, but for lots of other mums and other people out there. So I just wasn't really sure how to film it. But I follow a channel called Channel Mum, and this week they're running a campaign called Yana. So it's Yana Week, which is You Are Not Alone Week. And it's really just focusing on the loneliness that can come with being a mum and the struggles that come with that. And they're also looking at all kinds of different ways that you can kind of help get past that and help find friends and things like that. Their statistics show that 9 out of 10 mums feel lonely at some point. That really shocked me actually, because I guess that's the point of loneliness. You feel like it's just you that's lonely. So I was really interested to find out those statistics. That means that most of the mums that I know probably are feeling lonely as well. So when I had Marley, I didn't really feel loneliness. I didn't struggle with postnatal depression or anything like that. I had a really good group of NCT friends. I guess Marley wasn't my only focus. He was a normal delivery, very easy baby. So I really did enjoy that first year. But when I had Felix, it was a slightly different story, really. Obviously, his birth was very traumatic. He was taken straight away from me, which automatically puts you at higher risk of something like postnatal depression. So mums who have had babies in the neonatal unit can often struggle with bonding and things like that. When I came home from hospital, I didn't really feel those struggles straight away. I think I was just so relieved to have him back with me at the time. Although I kind of felt traumatised by it, it wasn't until kind of a month or so later that I really started to feel, oh, do you know what? I'm not feeling that right. I do feel really lonely. I don't feel myself. I guess I did feel slightly depressed, kind of thoughts coming into my head about not being a very good mum, wasn't bonding with Felix properly. And suddenly I realised that those kind of 2 weeks where I didn't have him with me all the time had a big effect on me, and it also had a big effect on the bonding that I had with him. So I kind of started feeling these things, but I didn't really say anything to my husband or my family or my friends at the time, just mainly because I thought it made me seem ungrateful. So I didn't say anything, and I just carried on, and a few weeks later it just got to a point where I thought, I feel really lonely, I feel really on my own, and this depression is kind of getting out of hand. So I spoke to my husband and I went to the doctor, and from there they diagnosed me with postnatal depression and also postnatal anxiety. So they're actually two quite separate things. The anxiety was probably always going to happen, just because Felix wasn't very well when he was born. There was a higher risk of him getting sick over the winter, so I had anxieties about that really. So I went to the doctor and they kind of started to make a plan for me there. At that time, I was definitely locking myself away, so I was trying to stay in as much as possible. I was turning down seeing friends and family events because I just didn't feel like I could face it. And, it made me nervous to have Felix around a lot of people. And although that was my choice, it was incredibly lonely, and some of it still is. I'm not out of the postnatal depression battle yet. I'm still going through it, but I am getting there day by day. And there are a few things that have really helped me with that. So the first is by seeing the GP, they kind of go over different options for you. You have options such as going on to some antidepressants, anti-anxiety pills. They can offer you counselling. They can offer you something called CBT, which is cognitive behavioural therapy. They also get in touch with your health visitor, and your health visitor will then make contact. So I've had a health visitor which has been coming to me every 2 weeks to check on Felix, to check on me, and they're just kind of talking sessions really. So I can just offload. So the health visitor will come and I'll just offload everything that I'm feeling Sometimes we'll do Felix's weight. But probably one of the most beneficial things that the health visitor set up for me was sending me to a baby massage class. Everybody there is going through the same or similar things. And that's been amazing, and I think that really highlights the whole loneliness part, is that actually when I went to a group where I was around lots of other mums who were feeling the same way as me, it suddenly made me feel like I'm not on my own and I'm not lonely. I have an opportunity to make new friends here. I only see those ladies once a week at the baby massage class, but I hope as we get towards the end of that, kind of in a few weeks, maybe we can exchange numbers. I think being a mum, it's all about being brave. It can be incredibly daunting, having a new baby and walking into a baby and toddler group, and everybody seems like they're in groups, and then you just seem like you're on your own, or you feel like you're on your own. And actually, lots of people say, well, just go and make friends, but it's really hard and it's really daunting to walk over to a group of mums who look like they've got it all together. You know, they're doing a great job, everything's fine, and say, hi, my name's so-and-so, this is my baby. That's really so much easier said than done. But once you find those one or two mum friends, they will be your friends for life, and they will be the ones that stick with you through thick and thin. I've got two friends in particular who have really helped me through this postnatal depression journey. I speak to them regularly about it. Like I say, before I kind of hid it from everyone, but after I'd been to the GP and after speaking with my health visitor a few times, I kind of thought, no, I'm going to tell just those close people. And those happen to be two of my mum friends. Mainly because even if they don't understand the postnatal depression side of things, they do understand that being a mum is hard and some days are shit. And, you know, it can be lonely. So I would encourage you, if you are feeling lonely, if you are struggling with postnatal depression, or if you think you might be struggling with postnatal depression, then try and seek some form of help. Try and go to those baby groups, and if there's another mum sitting on their own, then try and approach that mum, because I guess the likelihood is they're going to be feeling the same as you. I'm a second-time mum and I still find it scary walking into a baby group where there's nobody I know. And quite often I sit there and I don't speak to anybody, and I think, gosh, I bet those other mums are just looking at me thinking I don't want to speak to anybody, I'm just sitting there on my own. But that's not the case at all. Everyone wants new friends, especially being a mum. So I'm just looking through my list. I had to write a list, I had so much to say and I barely looked at this list, so let's see. So yeah, just I think getting help is the main thing. And like I said, my journey with postnatal depression isn't nearly over. Some days I think I'm doing so much better, and some days I'm back to square one again. So it's a journey, and I'm gradually learning, and I'm learning a lot about myself in the process of it. I've realised that it's nothing to feel guilty about, it's nothing to feel ashamed of, and I did feel like that at the beginning. I really did. But now I'm finding it easier to tell people one by one what's going on when the opportunity arises. It's also really difficult, isn't it, to just drop something like that into conversation. Oh, I'm feeling lonely, or I'm struggling a bit with depression, anxiety. It's really hard to just drop that into a conversation. So there are certain times and places, but I think it really is important to talk to people when you can. As I said at the beginning of this video, Channel Mum, which is a channel that I follow regularly on YouTube and on Facebook and Twitter. I love them. I love their ethos. It's all about mums coming together, sharing their stories. They do a great Facebook Live once a week where it's just like a chat. They just have a cup of tea. And honestly, when I'm watching those, I feel like I'm kind of having an adult conversation, even though I'm not involved in it. But they're just so down to earth. And the fact that they've done this week, Yana, You Are Not Alone week, or they're doing this week, it's going on at the moment, it only started yesterday, I think it's so positive. And watching their kind of YouTube clip on it made me cry a little bit, actually, because there were so many mums, so many famous bloggers on there, for example, saying that they are feeling lonely and that they've got all kinds of different problems. So it is so common. They definitely gave me kind of the confidence boost to come on and talk to you all about my journey. So do check out their channel. Like I say, they're on YouTube as Channel Mum, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter. And if you are feeling a bit lonely, then I think that some of their tips and hints could really help. I hope that sharing my story helps some of you. If it really is 9 in 10 of us that feel lonely, which, you know, the statistics show it is, then I'm guessing that lots of you who have watched this video today are going to be feeling lonely too. So do try and make new mum friends if you can. Confide in people. Contact me on my Guilty Mummy page. You know, you can private message me. You know, I'm always there to chat. I might not know any of you in person, but like I said, I'm going through lots of stuff myself at the moment, so I'm happy to talk to anyone about it. And yeah, and hopefully the next video I'll try and do something a bit more humorous. But I really did feel that, seeing as I share kind of the funny side of my life, I've shared so much of my last year kind of with you all, and it seemed a bit kind of, it just didn't seem right to hide this particular subject because it's a negative one. So I'm glad that this video is done because I was really nervous about it. And like I say, contact me, go to Channel Mum. If you're worried, go to your GP. Just find friends and just keep talking to people. And hopefully with all of that, we can get that 9 out of 10 way down so that not so many of us are feeling lonely. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, press like. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, please do. And please do leave comments and let me know how you're feeling. And I'll be back very soon with another video. Thanks very much. Bye.